Is traditional wholesaling dead? We're getting asked this question a lot inside of our inner circle. And the fact of the matter is we're in the most competitive real estate market that our country has ever seen. We have hedge fund buyers that are cornering the market, hiking up the real estate prices, causing more competition not only for wholesalers and real estate investors, but real estate agents as well. And looking at the prices, traditionally, we've never seen such a huge price increase in the history of real estate. This post-COVID era has really just opened up a brand new arena in the real estate investment realm, and it basically sped up what was inevitably going to happen. So let's put ourselves back in 2022. Now, living inside of this post-COVID era, the entire playing field is different. When we look at the amount of US dollars that have been printed into circulation and the stimulus handouts, the business PPP, EIDL funding, what it has done is we've printed a bunch of dollars into the economy that don't really have any monetary backing. So smart investors across the globe are seeing that we're going to be going into a hyperinflationary scenario. In those cases, what is a smart investment? It's hard assets such as gold, commodities, and real estate. So the hedge fund buyers who have been buying in the market for several years, this sped up that projected growth for them, and they just opened up the floodgates when it comes to buying all of these single family properties. So let's take a quick look at traditional investing. And look at traditional investing / wholesaling versus this hedge fund formula. Looking at traditional real estate investing. As a real estate investor, we've always been taught that the cardinal rule of investing is if we're going to put a property under contract, we have to lock it up at 70% of market value. That's the cardinal rule of investing. However, what we're seeing with the market being cornered, with a big influx of buyers flooding the market, is this 70% rule is become harder and harder to hit as a real estate investor. The fact of the matter is, if I was playing in my local market only and only sourcing distressed wholesale deals at 70% of market value, I'd be out of business, right? But what we've been doing as we're exercising and using our hedge fund relationships is we're utilizing the hedge fund formula that our team has put in place, where we've created a step-by-step guide to allow our investment partners to source deals in all the target markets that the hedge funds are deploying capital, right? So big markets like Atlanta, Charlotte, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, Nashville, these larger metro areas where, yes, there's a high demand and a lot of competition, but what the hedge funds are doing is these hedge funds are paying 100% ARV, right? They're paying full market value for wholesale deals in select markets, as long as it fits the buy box. So what's happening is it's changing the entire game, and the entire trajectory of the wholesale industry is starting to shift as we know it. And I hate to say it, but those who are sitting on the sidelines, sticking to this old traditional model, hoping that they can continue staying afloat and finding distressed deals, they're in for a rude awakening, right? The old model is dying. And there's a quote that says, "In times of change, the learners will inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to operate inside of a world that no longer exists." Let that sink in for a moment. We're sitting on the edge of a complete market disruption, right? The entire model is changing. The industry is shifting. Those who are not willing to step out and remain on the forefront of this market shift are going to get left behind, which is why I encourage you guys to start digging a little bit deeper. Start figuring out strategic ways where you can partner with different organizations, where you can source these wholesale deals and move them for more amounts of money, because what it does is it opens up the playing field where you can source these contracts and lock them up a little bit higher than your old, distressed, traditional wholesale deal. Let's take a quick look on the computer real quick. We'll pull up an article that's just talking about record low housing inventory, and we'll quickly walk through the back end of the partnership portal, giving you a little bit of the insight of what we're doing and how we formulated a game plan to source all these off-market opportunities and to funnel them out to our hedge fund partners. Okay, so right here we have an NBC News article, and it's titled this: "Who's outbidding you by tens of thousands of dollars for that dream home?" Fact of the matter, it's simply a hedge fund, right? These hedge funds are coming in with cash money. They're deploying unlimited amounts of capital, cleaning house and cornering the market with single-family real estate. Now, I have a speculation over the next 10 years at the rate of properties that they're buying, majority of median income housing is going to be mostly corporate owned. That's scary as heck, right? If that doesn't alarm you, I don't know what will. But as we look down, right, it's really just saying, hey, we're seeing a lack of supply with single-family homes across the entire country, right? It's saying the would-be home buyers find that they're being outbid not just by another home seeker, but by these big hedge funds, right? Hedge funds, they're private equity groups that pool a bunch of money, private investors' money together, and traditionally they've invested in apartment buildings, stock market, and different investment vehicles, but they started to venture into the single-family investment realm and learn that they can make a lot of money if they have a good cash flowing system, right? So again, it's one of those things where it's scary to see what's happening, what's unraveling behind the scenes, but it's one of those things that if you do not remain on the forefront of it and think of it like a vacuum or a funnel, right? Everything that we do inside of our business is very meticulous, right? So we want to begin with the end in mind. How do we do that? Well, we figure out where the most amount of money, the most amount of capital is being deployed, right? So let's map this out. We got a big money bag right here, right? And we want to dial in, right? Let's say we got the US here. That's a big map of the US, right? Now we're sitting here in this little dot in South Carolina, which my whole business used to be inside of South Carolina until recently, right? Until we started pivoting where we leveraged the hedge fund relationships that we have and started asking this question, hey, where is all this money being deployed, right? We got Atlanta, Georgia. Florida is hot, right? So you got Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, and surrounding areas, right? You can draw a big circle around those areas. You got Charlotte right above us. So what it's doing is it's showing us where large amounts of capital, we're talking billions and billions of dollars, is being unleashed to buy single family real estate, right? So we simply follow the money, right? Begin with the end in mind, reverse engineer our marketing, and we break down that model. Okay, based on these hot buy box areas, what type of properties are our hedge fund partners looking to buy in these areas, right? So let's just say Atlanta, we're looking for 3-bed, 1 bath and up, 900 square feet or greater, in a certain zip code, a certain buy box and area. That's it, right? We reverse engineered it, and we can take that data and information, we can plug and play into our marketing plan. And regardless if we're cold calling, sending out text blasts, we could unleash a pay-per-click campaign, direct mail, whatever the means of marketing is, we know where to start because we know where the most amount of capital is being deployed. And instead of trying to go lock this little house up at 70% of market value, or let's say we locked it up at, we'll say we locked it up at 70% and someone bought it for 75, right? And the house is worth $100,000. We just made $5,000 on that 5% return on what we sold the contract for, right? On the other side of that spectrum, let's say that same house that we locked up at 70%, there's a hedge fund buyer that's actually willing to pay 100% for that house. Well, you do that simple math, $30,000 spread, $30,000 difference between contract and end buyer price. That's 6 times, right? We're going to say 6 times the multiple of $5,000. I'm just saying, let that resonate with you for a minute, and then consider before you start marketing, what is my investment strategy, and why don't I just start reverse engineering, reverse wholesaling everything that I'm doing in my business. And I promise you, if you're laser focused and meticulous, this strategy is going to work every time. Now we're going to toggle over to the dashboard that we provide our partners in this program. Now again, you do have to apply, right? You have to be vetted. We'll do an onboarding process with you to make sure that it's a good fit. But once you're in the program, you have access to open up the back end modules that sit inside of here. It's really simple, to the point, easy step-by-step process. And the way that the partnership portal is broken down is we provide different buy box markets. We have buy box areas, you have your max purchase price, bed bath count, built after a certain year, all that information. And we take it as far as going to a buy box folder that opens up a target zip code list where you can look at the zip codes and make sure before you start doing any type of marketing, paid advertising, whatever your model is, that you're dialed in and you're equipped to go out there and find these houses that are going to be a good fit for the hedge funds. So again, is the old model dying? Is traditional wholesaling as we know it changing? Who knows if it'll ever be the same? I'll let you answer that question yourself. But for now, we're here to provide the tools to help you guys pivot and to remain on the forefront of this massive market shift, because this is an industry disruption as we know it. And I believe real estate will never be the same. I'll see you guys on the other side.